Okay, just ringing up Mr. Browell as I normally do nearly every day and to see what he says. I don't think he's going to answer, he never answers, but I'll leave my message.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07762471196. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Oh yes, hello Mr. Browell, it's Mr. Hussein here, once again leaving yourself a message regarding my brother Mr. Talib Hussein. Today's date is Wednesday the 27th of September 2023 and the time is around about midday, and it's now been 51 days since you've abducted my brother, and I have no idea where he is or what kind of condition he's in. And obviously I'm just repeating myself here, like I guess like a broken record. But that's what you do as well, isn't it? As an authorities under the establishments, you're always getting to say things over and over again like a broken record, trying to corral me and manipulate me into achieving your objectives. One of which is you should look to register with a new GP, you should look to get a solicitor, you should do this, you should do that. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm just reviewing some of my previous records, and where Vicina Brown was so concerned about me in October 2018, where she was directing me to get a solicitor. That's the best course of action. When the reality is that you know and I know solicitors are in your back pocket. I mean, the previous solicitor that I did get for my brother, you bought him off. But that's just normal practice, isn't it? Buying off the solicitors and the barristers and the judges and the judiciary and the jury, in order for you to continue to keep this facade of this facade of benevolence up, that you are simply a poor northern local authority that's simply trying to do their jobs under economic strains. When the reality is that this situation is being created by you as a local authority in order to make money and profit here. I've been doing this for a very long time. It's been over 23 years that I've been directly involved with yourself as a local authority, taking responsibility for my vulnerable family members' rights and rights and liberties. But prior to this, you've been at this game for a very long time, particularly in relation to my brother Nazim, whom was become a service user in 1983. 1982 or 1983, you've been targeting and victimizing this family of vulnerable individuals whom you had a duty of care to and neglecting. And when I've come on board and tried to get you to do your jobs, as it says on the tin, you've simply turned around and targeted and victimized me and colluded and conspired with all your associates in order to further diminish my position. And we're here now, 23 years later. What have you really achieved? All you've ever done is murder and plunder. That's all you're good for, and eventually you will be exposed. Now, my brother needs to be returned back into my care, because you can't care for him. Your care homes are closing down. The doctors, the NHS doctors are all on strike. You don't have the resources or the means to provide care. I do. I'm an expert at providing care, and it's in Talib's best interest for him to be returned to me and for you to hand over all his money to him, so I can get him the services that he needs, and the privacy, and through the privacy and dignity that the law affords us. What you want to do is you want to do away with any safeguards and our legal rights in order for you to profiteer and plunder. This has been an exceedingly expensive enterprise for you, the local authority, to have targeted me, and we're still here. I'm still here 23 years later, or diminished slightly, but still more determined than ever. What are you going to do? You're going to put me into prison like you did last time? What are you going to do? Murder me like you murdered my family members? These are all options that you can do, but these are all tyrannical issues. It doesn't resolve anything. Your inability to provide care and do your duty of care is not going to be affected by my murder or my brother Talib's murder or anything like this, is it? The reality is that you continue to act in this malevolent manner, and I will continue to pursue you for my rights and my family members' rights. You need to return my brother back into my care, because you cannot care for him. It's now been 52 days later. He's no doubt fully constipated, and as a result of which, you're going to have to be dealing with his overflow. All his shit is going to be everywhere. Let's see how you clean that shit up, as was the case when you last abducted him in August, when by October, November time, you could not even get him any clean clothes. You're simply not in a position to provide him with care. This is all unlawful, because he has a right to have raise complaints, which he can't do. He has a right to have family members access, which he has which is being denied to him. The support that you're providing him, or any kind of service you're providing him, is unlawful, because it does not afford him the rights that every other consumer would have rights. You're trying to be provide services to my brother Tal without his consent and permission, without his guardian or relatives consent or permission. You're simply looking to do this by buying off the judges. Not acceptable, Mr. Browell, and I will continue to leave my messages, and you will continue to ignore them. But one day these things will come to the public attention. You cannot continue to hound and persecute us like this and hope that in my particular case that everything's going to be covered up. As you know, I'm fully putting everything on the internet for everybody to hear and listen into. Your actions and conduct is inexcusable, and it will be highlighted. And I once again urge you to desist in your malevolence and fraud and corruption against me and my brother, and look to act with decorum and allow.
You have 15 seconds recording time remaining.
Yeah, and allow my brother to come back into my care, and provide him with the financial support that he's entitled to. Now, Mr. Browell, I'll leave it there. No doubt you're going to ignore this message, and I'll continue to send emails and messages until you release my brother. You cannot simply hold my brother captive like this. It is simply not acceptable.
Your recording time has expired. To leave your message, press 1. To review message sent. Thank you for calling.
So a 6-minute message is sent nearly every single day, and nearly every single day the mighty local authority, who has a duty of care both to me and my brother, are simply ignoring us while they're holding my brother captive and imprisoned without any dignity, without any rights, no laws in place, nothing. They simply cannot do anything other than commit tyranny. You can't simply get people that are murdering terrorists to reform themselves by giving them more laws, by giving them more power, by controlling them financially. It's simply ridiculous. And my brother it's 51 days that he's been taken from my care, and nobody's giving me one clear answer. Simply came to my house, abducted him, stole his passport and driving license, and stole his passports and documents and money, and just absconded. Didn't even bother taking his medication, didn't even bother taking his didn't bother taking his medication or his clothes. They simply just came, abducted and disappeared him. And I'm now highlighting this, and everybody's position is, this is very complex. I don't really know what to do. I'm just not that intellectually. I can't intellectually handle this. It's beyond my remit. And simply everybody's looking the other way, saying it's complex, when ultimately you're financially plundering and profiteering is to my brother's detriment. Just have him it's not complicated. Just have him returned back into my care and give me the £120,000 that you've stole of his benefit money. All right, I can get him all the care and support that he needs. We don't need the council. We don't need healthcare professionals. What he needs is his family, which they're denying him and saying, no, by doing that, you're excluding us from our ability to make profit and gain for ourselves, and therefore we don't like it. So I don't care what you like or you don't like. The reality is that there are laws protecting me and my brother which are being violated in order for you to achieve your nefarious agenda and narrative, which is to protect and safeguard not my brother, not me, not members of the public, but to protect and safeguard your criminal conviction, which is the overarching thing now. So because having your criminal conviction undermined will ultimately bankrupt the local authority. So yeah, we're going to continue this escapade. Every day I'm being depleted of my resources. Every day I'm being depleted of my rights, and they continue to persecute and hound me by being neglectful and ignoring me. Absolutely horrendous, absolutely ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.